Hello everybody. I hope you all are having a good day today. You know, sometimes in life there's things that we have to deal with, we have to accept, and sometimes we have to let things go in order to grow. And I'm learning that lesson very well today. It's ironic. Yesterday I had someone come to me. They're struggling. Life here in the Philippines is a lot different from the Western world. It's more like the wild, wild West of old. And I know a man here who come to me and was telling me that for 6 years he has worked this land. It had a fish pond on it that was full of trees and debris and the land was cluttered and for 6 years he has dug trees out of this fish pond and worked his fingers to the bone making this land good. And for the past 3 years this fish pond has been beautiful. And it has been producing great harvests of fish. This land that he's been working come from a cousin of his. And the cousin of his told him that if he worked the land and made it new, that if he would share with him the profits, that they would give him the land. The only problem was that he never got receipts or anything on paper. Now this cousin of his has told him that he must give that land up. He can't have it. It's not his. This man was struggling so hard now because he's worked so hard. And he's had thoughts of doing damage to these people. And he was struggling with that. And so I told him a story of something that I had to deal with. I guess about 10 years ago, right after I had the stroke, I was not in my right mind, and I would find myself in places that I shouldn't be, in areas that I shouldn't be, and I would get lost at times. I was having lots of trouble. One evening, I ran into 3 peace officers. And these peace officers assumed that I was drunk because of the slur in my speech. These men took it upon themselves to beat me. They beat me so bad that they broke my hip and my leg. I had a compound fracture. I had to be airlifted to a city and have surgery done on my leg and have 3 pins installed to hold it together. Shortly after that, I left that area where I'd been living, and I was filled with an anger and a rage that is hard to explain. And all I could think about was getting even with those men. And for a few years, I had developed a plan on how I was going to kill each one of them and what I was going to say to them while I was killing them. And I actually had people that I had planned that were going to help me. On June 14th, 2012, the night that God came into my life, all that anger that I had for them left me, and I let that go. It was easy. I let it go, and all I could think about was, if I ever had the chance, I'd like to talk to them and tell them about the love of God. So I told him this story. I said, you know what, if I would have acted on that, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't have Lindsay now. I wouldn't have Lynn now. I wouldn't be talking to you now. But I let that go. And I said, you got to do that too. You got to let this go and move on, because you have a family to take care of. I found out today that I may have to leave everything here and go back to the States and work for some time. I don't know how long. But the probabilities are high that I'm going to have to leave everything that I love here. And letting that go, letting it go and putting it in God's hands is so difficult for me. And I'm having to tell myself that the reason that I had that conversation with that man yesterday is God's way of comforting me today and telling me to let this go. He's got it. You know, that's one thing about this life of walking in Christ is having faith that Father has us. Sometimes that's one of the most difficult things for me, because I always like to be in control. You know, I like to know what's coming instead of waiting to see what's coming. I ask that you guys pray for me, and pray for my friend too, that it'll give me strength to wait and to be patient and to accept whatever comes my way. I know it's all in God's plan. I love you all. God bless.